Okay, I hope everyone's doing well. So they just finished the live stream and I'm going to go over and recap everything. And I do think the opinions are overall mixed from this update. But if I'm being real, there's a lot of things that we kind of got from this update that I'm pretty excited about. So we're kind of going to go into everything. That basically was confirmed. So we got new Kusakabe. It seems like Jjk0 Gojo is going to be next month, but that's kind of more of a bit up in the air. We're going to talk about that. Calling games is in the roadmap, so I'm not too sure how that's going to go. We got new tower floors. They confirmed the SP battle, and we also have domain investigation event in 2 days, which seems to be actual proper content. So for people wanting different types of content, domain investigation and SP battle are both going to be there. Then there's sweep and tower. So we got 4 actual things that I would consider difficult in this game right now. So I'm actually thinking that like the game's going in a very good direction. Did we get SP buffs? No, but I'm going to say this right now. My guess is next month with Jjk0. They're going to instead SP buff them next month. And it's more of a logic that if they do it this month, then they wouldn't do it next month. So they probably skimped out on the SP buffs this month. And then next month we might get like a Utah SP buff. So we'll have to see. This is the new graphic. And basically all these units are probably going to get new units. So new Yuji, new Toto, new Nobara, Megumi. Then we got this guy. This is Yuki Kaji, right? And this is Aaron's voice actor and this is Mikasa's voice actor. Mekamaru's in this, which is crazy. My guess is that like Yuji, Toto, and also Nanami are going to be like the big units. Now we see here Ritsu Hikari is going to be Yui Ishikawa, which is Mikasa's voice actor. Then we got Hio Shirakura, which is Yuki Kaji, and then we got Eiji Urushi, which is going to be Shunsuke Takeuchi, which isn't like a huge name. I don't really know anything he's really done, but the 2 on the right and left are really cool, honestly. So basically this is going to be, and there's also going to be different like sections of the prison, but essentially Nanami gets taken by the organization. Basically they just have started going on a rampage of kidnapping, even kidnapping and also imprisoning just innocent sorcerers. Nanami was taken. Then Yuji gets the help of this woman here, right, to then be brought in. This guy is a prisoner, but he kind of acts like a prison guard. And this is a lawyer who's helping innocent people, and he has jujutsu. My guess is this guy's going to be like a Shoko support, so expect him to be a buffer. I think that's really hyped that we're finally getting another buffer. And there's an opening. There is an opening. So you guys can go watch it. It's on the global one too. So it seems like global is also going to be getting it pretty early. He looks sick as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. Also, like, we see him fight here. He does look pretty cool. I just don't really like his drip. It's not that good. Now we do see, where is it? Gojo's here, so we might get a new Gojo, but we do see them in new drip. So I don't know if they're kind of visitors or if they're being imprisoned, but we'll have to see how that goes. And then, I mean, yeah, so that's basically going to be it. We might even see a Sukuna reveal for a new unit. That could happen. I'm trying to find the other OC, but I feel kind of blind. I don't know where she is. I really don't. But she should, oh yeah, right there. So I think she looks really sick too. The only one I'm not that big of a fan of is the guy in the middle, which is Urushi, right? But we'll see. So Global's getting it early 2026. So it seems like there's still going to be a gap between Global and JP even after anniversary, which is unfortunate. But still, I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a gap if it's early 2026. So maybe February, when also in JP it's going to be December. So maybe still they're keeping that 2-month gap. Then we got Kusakabe. I think a lot of people are kind of not liking this guy, and I think that is kind of because they didn't reveal the full kit. They probably should reveal the full kits of these units. We did get some interesting info. Now I think he's going to be a tower unit. Now you might be like, oh, but we just got sweep, so shouldn't we get sweep units? And I do agree, but I think Jogo should have been the sweep unit, so I think Jogo is a bigger L. And why I'm saying that is because, guys, we're going to be getting tower a week or 2 after Kusakabe comes out. Like, we're getting new tower floors right after. So there is that. I kind of spoiled, but we're going to go over what he does. So essentially, we know his skill 2. Enter simple domain state for 4 turns. Enter counterattack state for 4 turns. And you could use it twice. The counterattack is twice. And then decrease curse technique damage for self. If you use the skill whilst simple domain is already active, so if you use the skill 2 again, it will extend the buff to allies while simple domain is active. Negates the continuous effect of the enemy domain expansion. I don't think that's how it reads, though. Let me pull it up. Oh, no, it does. So maybe we're... Oh, guys, yellow might have like a Jogo or Sukuna floor that puts big DOT, right? Like a domain expansion. Maybe we get someone with a domain expansion that's yellow, because I don't think this is really important right now. because this would be nice if it was just permanent poison nullify, but I don't think it is. Unfortunate. Now the passive is when Kusakabe lands a critical hit, the following effects apply. You get 1 crit hit count, boosts damage for the entire team for 3 turns. The more critical hits he hits, how does it read? The more critical hits you have. So the more critical hit counts, it seems, the greater the effect. So basically, the best way that I could explain it is that if you have a higher count, the more counts you have, the bigger the buff. So essentially in the okay, we're gonna have to talk about it because I actually think this is really good. So essentially, this is a tower unit, right? Keep in mind why I'm saying this. And that's because Degumi in tower now, he's going to be nerfed, right? So he's going to have the permanent 45%, and then he's going to have the 3S1. So in total, that's calculator. So let's say, because right now, like, probably the nerf is going to be 80%. So that means it's going to be 0.2. So it's 60% plus the 45. He's going to be at 105, right? At the end, not even the whole time. Kusakabe could be at a consistent 150. And that's something that I think that people aren't really understanding, is the way this reads is that every time you get a crit, it's going to give you an extra count. Now, the counts don't seem to leave. If they do, then he's going to be ass. But they don't seem to leave, which means, let's say you get to, like, maybe the max is 5. Let's say you get 5 crits, and every time you get a crit after that, you get a 150%. Every single time you crit, even if it's on the skill 1, you max out the damage. I want people to understand that, because this means that you only need to crit once every 3 turns later on in the fight. Maybe in the first 5 to 10 turns, you get your crits. Then later on in the fight, you crit once every 3 turns, and what do you know? You have a 150% damage boost waiting for you permanently for 3 turns. Now, it's not more than 150. You reapply it. So I think the way it works is that it overwrites every time you crit. So that's what it's going to be. To get the buff, you need to crit. However, you're going to keep the counts, which means, let's say the max counts is 5. Then that means after 5 crits, every time you crit, you will get 150%, no matter what skill it is. Which I think this makes him very good, to where for tower buff lores, he's going to be better than Degumi in terms of buffing. We don't know if he's going to be overall better. We're going to have to see. But I think that is pretty interesting. Now, for sweep, he's not as good as he should be. That's something. Now, we could check here. This is crazy, by the way. His skill 1 gives CE. Now, why am I saying this is good? Because keep in mind, he doesn't need to use a certain buff skill to give the buffs. If his skill 1 crits, he's going to have the buff for 3 turns. Keep that in mind. So he uses the skill 1, right? It gives 5 CE, and we're gonna put we're gonna keep it like that. Yeah, it's fine. It's the showcase. So he gives that amount, right? Which I would say is decent. Now he doesn't get a crit, so keep that in mind. He doesn't crit. But what we have to keep in mind is that his ult gives crit rate buff. So don't use it again. Okay, so now for the skill 2, we're gonna see all the buffs he gives. So he gives himself the simple domain. He gives himself the counter. What is that top one? I'm kind of confused. Counterattack, simple domain, decrease curse technique. I don't know what that top one is. Maybe it's a self. I don't know. I wish it was higher quality. We could try to translate it. I don't think we know. So maybe it's like a state buff. Could be interesting. We'll have to see. I have no clue what it is. But he gets the taijutsu. Now, do we know the taijutsu amount? I don't think we do. Maybe he's going to be a decent sub DPS, but as of right now, I'm not really too sure. So now he uses the skill 2 again, which this now gives the buff to Panda also. So now you see it gives the Jujutsu damage reduction to Panda, which is, well, decent. So, I mean, I don't know how big it is. Maybe it's 20%, 30%. Now, the skill 3, I think it's single target, pretty sure. Is it? So I think he crits on this. Yeah, he crits on the last hit. So now he has 1 count. You see he has 1 count. So this is kind of like a blue UGSP buff, right? And I think Panda also has that. So he gives the damage increase, but we don't know how big it is, right? And I just want to say, it might seem like that the top buff, just to make sure it's clear, might be the thing that negates the continuous effects. We'll have to see, but it seems like it's that. So let's go back again. So his ult gauge is only 1363, which is really good. Especially if you're using yellow Shoko, the ult gauge should be pretty quick. So we'll see. Now, he doesn't counter there, which is fucking crazy, man. So now he ults, and he gives crit rate. And it's AoE, which for tower is good. For tower, it's pretty good. But the thing is, I don't think we know much more than that. And that's his ult. I think it looks decent. It's not crazy. All that gives him is crit rate, but how much crit rate, right? Because he crits there. Maybe it's a guaranteed crit. If that's a guaranteed crit, I think he's going to be insane. And then he gives himself crit rate. So I think he's going to get going pretty quick. And that's kind of it. That's the combo. And then I wish they show... Oh, I don't think they show anything. Damn. Okay, so that's it. Very good art. I'm not going to lie, very good art. So like I said, I think Kusakabe, once he gets going, once he gets enough of the crit count, he's going to be really good, guys, because he won't, like, he's going to be able to keep this up consistently. Keep that in mind, right? And I want to say something else. Guys, Kusakabe could also put this on. And remember, after he ults, he gets extra crit rate. What if after he ults, if the ult is a guaranteed crit, what if he puts this, gets an extra 30% crit rate on top of his additional crit rate? Guys, every time he crits, he gives taijutsu to all allies. Bro, him with Zonji is going to be insane. It is. I think it is. Depending on how his crit rate looks, Zonji getting the extra 60% taijutsu, like, this might be really good. Especially if you put Junpei with Kusakabe. I think this could be pretty interesting. We're gonna have to see how this goes. Right now, I don't think there's a... Is there a tower floor? Yes, 65 is the only tower floor this is gonna be good on. But besides that, we're gonna see later on, like, how good he's gonna be. I think he could be pretty interesting. I think he can. It's gonna be rough, but I think that now we're gonna get into the next part. There's tower. There's tower. So there's gonna be tower in October. So my guess is there's going to be 20 tower floors. If there's less, is what it is. But I think that's why Kusakabe could be pretty good, because there's going to definitely be more buff floors for yellow that are probably going to be taijutsu. And you put this on, Kusakabe could give Zonji, on top of his 150% damage, an extra 60% taijutsu, which is insane. If he crits all 3 times, of course, but, you know, it's an RNG game, so who gives a fuck, right? So I think it could be good, because 1 crit in 3 turns later on is going to be a free 150% damage increase for all 3 turns. And it's going to keep on rewriting itself. And with this rec bit, it's going to be able... You're going to be critting for sure. You're definitely going to be critting. So I'm pretty hyped. I wonder what his own rec bit's going to be, but I doubt it's going to be better than this, because this is amazing for taijutsu units. So we'll see. But I think Kusakabe is looking to be about tier 0.5. If he's higher, I'd be surprised. But we'll have to see if he's a good sub DPS and whatnot. But I'm saying tier 0.5 right now. But for yellow, he's good. More of a premium unit. Kind of like Megumi. Him and red Megumi seem to be in that same type of tier. He has a bit less damage increase, but he could also make use of this rec bit. So keep that in mind. And also, it's consistent, right? You're not really worrying about CE with this unit, which is amazing. So we got tower. Then we got Jjk0 SP battle. So now, like I said, there's 4 content pieces that are going to be kind of in the game, right? So we're going to have... what's it called? We're gonna have tower coming, right? We had sweep, then we're also gonna have SP battle, and then we're gonna have domain investigation event, which I don't think I pulled up. Did I? Anyway, we could go in here and show it off. Where was it? Is it afterwards? Oh, I guess it is afterwards. Yeah, so basically this one's gonna give 2,000 cubes. So it's a pretty good event. Now, basically, this one chooses buffs for you. And they say it's high difficulty. So if they say that and they make tower, I could believe them. So this one, there's going to be also new types of buffs. One that seems to be for Gojo, by the way. The one on the bottom basically extends the turn amounts that you're there for an extra 5 turns. So like Gojo, Blue Gojo would be there for 12 turns. Domain Gojo would be there for 15. So that is pretty interesting. And you also could revive on the top one, which is interesting. And then afterwards, they show the amount of rewards. So we get basically 2.5 crystals, which is kind of ass. Probably should have been 5. We get medals, which is definitely good. 1,600 from an event is huge. And then 2,000 cubes, which, keep in mind, this is like a couple days before the story event. So it's decent, right? 7 pulls right before the story event and more content. And then also tower 2 is not bad. And then they confirmed quite a couple interesting things here. So in this, we have the domain investigation event, which is crazy, right? Because like the content is kind of fire. So like on the 21st, we had sweep, and then on the 25th, we're going to have domain investigation event. 5 days later, we're going to have Kusakabe. Then 8 days later, we're going to have the SP battle. And it seems in mid-October, since it's before the 17th, we're going to be getting tower. And then afterwards, we're going to be getting Jjk0 movie revival screening. So what I want to make sure that's known is that it's not 100% certain if it means we're going to get anything in game. The one thing is, why are we putting a roadmap and not including this in game? So my guess is there's going to be some type of event in game, either rerun banners or something, and this should probably tie into SP buffs. But as of right now, I'm really not sure. They were not that like detailed with this roadmap. So my guess is they're maybe trying to keep it a secret or like keep it hidden. We'll have to see. I'm still personally expecting next month, because on the 17th to get well, Jjk0. Also, one of the events, I think the story event, I think it was the story event. It ends on the 17th. So it should be that on the 17th we get a new event. That's my guess personally. We'll have to see, but this would confirm Jjk0 Gojo. If we do get it, of course, because like I said, for like 100 times now, every other unit on the graphics has a unit besides Jjk0 Gojo. We even have Miguel. So if we do get an event, we're going to be getting Jjk0 Gojo if there's a new unit. If not, it's going to be probably next year, is what it is. Now, then afterwards, in November, there's a calling games screening thing. I don't know if we're going to get a unit for this. Maybe. I highly doubt it. I think it could happen for Jjk0 Gojo for obvious reasons, but I don't think it's going to happen for calling games. What I thought is maybe it's going to be kind of just like, they're going to give us like cubes for the screening, right? Something like that. And then the anniversary is on the 21st, like usual. I'm hyped for the anniversary. They really didn't give us much. We have another stream in November, so probably mid-November is our next stream, and that kind of wraps it up, right? I think Kusakabe is going to be pretty fun. I can't wait for him because I think he's actually going to be quite good. Because like once you get the crits up, like I said, yellow's going to have that permanent 150%, and there's no damage buffer yet, so this is obviously going to be good. I wish he did a bit more, but we'll see how his damage is. If his damage is good, I think he's going to be good enough. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. If his taijutsu is big, like, he could be quite good. He could be quite good, especially because he's a taijutsu unit. Guys, keep in mind, because he's a taijutsu unit, this is good for Kusakabe himself, right? Extra 60% taijutsu is almost rec bit levels, right? Only the stats here are basically a bit worse, but still, I do think that if Kusakabe is has good crit rate, which it does seem that once he ults, he's in a good scenario because he gets crit rate on ult. And if you also put this rec bit, like I said, 30% crit rate, I mean, shit, it could be pretty good. So I'm hyped. I'm very hyped, actually. Tower is big. I think tower is big. We don't know if it's 10 or 20 floors. We'll see very soon. Besides that, see you in the next one. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.